on freedom from addiction, dealing with our bad habits that bring us downward spiral. My name is May, your MC for tonight, and I'm so grateful to be having all of you beautiful people with us. Well, while waiting for the rest of the guests to join us, please do feel free to text any of your friends and family to come and join us now. We are more than happy to have new joiners. I hope you guys have taken your dinner. If not, you can still take your dinner with us while having this talk. Okay, now it's 8:01. I would like to extend a big thank you for this event is made happen proudly by the founder of DMO, Teacher Shugen from Singapore. And Teacher Shugen is an appointed Asian wisdom translator by Geshe Michael Roach, and also the translator of The Wheel of Life, which is included in the content of Level 6 teaching. And without further ado, may I invite Teacher Shugen from Singapore, the founder of DMO, and also the Headquarter Assistant Director of Life Tool Development. Let's type the symbol love, 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 and flowers in the chat box to welcome him. Welcome, Teacher Shugen.
Hi, good evening. Very happy to see a lot of friends here tonight. And let's start our session. Thank you for all the hearts here. And I feel very, very honored to be here with everyone tonight. Now, first of all, the topic of tonight is very exciting. And in fact, I'm kind of feeling very high when I read this topic. Bad habits. Why is bad habits so exciting? Because we are going to discover our bad habits and turn them into powerful energy for success, right? And if you are not aware, this is a series of talk that we are planning to do. So tonight is the first one. Tonight is the first one. First of all, I think you can hear my voice well, correct? Anybody who cannot hear me, maybe you want to type something. All can hear well? Good, all right. Let's do some system check. First, I would like to invite all of you to turn on your video. I like to interact. I like interaction. So if you turn on your video, I will feel more lively, otherwise it will become like a radio talk show where I don't see people. And then please turn on your speaker so you can hear me. And if you need to talk, please unmute your microphone. Otherwise, you just mute your microphone if you're not talking, all right? Yeah. Oh yeah, for people from Indonesia, teman-teman Indonesia ada terjemahan, kalian boleh masuk ke interpretation pilih Indonesia. Okay, so that's for my Indonesia friend. Now, let's go through some basic Zoom controls, okay? Because I want you to participate. First, number one is mute, unmute. Mute, unmute. This is the microphone. So if you're not talking, please mute. If you want to talk, you can unmute. And then start and stop your video. So this is where you can turn on your video. And then number three is the chat function. So we can chat. If you have any questions, please put in the chat box. So we will have a Q&A session. We can address some of your questions. And we have emoji number 4. This is where you can react to the sessions. Yeah, there are many choices there, not just heart that we just did. There are many others as well. And finally, at the end of the session, you can click number 5 to leave the session. Now, one more feature I would like to introduce to you is called annotate, right? If you go to the top of the screen, yeah, you can see view options. So you click on view options and click on annotate. When you click on annotate, the next bar will appear. And then click on the stamp. You can have selection of those arrow, tick mark, cross, star, heart, and question mark. Okay, so let's play. Okay, let's play. Let's not be too serious. If you're using mobile phone, this will be your display. So there is this pen mark on the bottom left. When you click on that, you don't have much choice, okay? You only have pen, arrow, color, and eraser. So please use the arrow to interact. Now let's start. Some Zoom meeting rules, okay? Participate actively by sharing your thoughts, and then only one person to speak at any one time. Keep within the context of the lesson, respect one another's viewpoints, and finally, keep confidential what is shared in this class. We are talking about bad habits. Some people might not want other people outside this event to know of their bad habits. So let's keep that confidential, okay? Now, my own self-intro. My name is Sugeng Shi. I was born in Indonesia and came to Singapore 30 over years ago. And these are the companies that I'm personally involved in. DMO Wisdom, which is the organizer of tonight's event. DMO Yoga, which is organizing yoga courses. And then also senior lead consultant for Diamond Wisdom Indonesia. And as our MC May introduced, I'm associate professor with the Sedona College of International Management. I'm also the director of Life Tool Development with the head office, and Ancient Wisdom translator, especially the book Wheel of Life, which is the main foundation content for the topic that we are discussing. Okay, now today we are going to cover these two main topics: what is bad habit, what is addiction, and also to recognize the objects of our addiction. Okay, so these are the two things that we are going to touch on tonight. Now, first, where are you from? Please let us know where you are connecting from. This is a map, and this is where the annotate function will come useful. Okay, so please click on annotate and then put the mark. Oh, I saw Francisca, Jakarta. Who else, please? Andy, Malaysia. Ryan, Ying Hui. Oh, okay. Jessica. I don't know why the rest are missing. Ah, Boon Hong from Perth. Jean from East Malaysia. Monica. Yeah, very funny. Yeah, I don't know why okay, some of the small arrows are there. Qatar, yes. Penang. Hong Kong. Wow, amazing. We have Hong Kong. Thank you very much. Wow, I see one heart here. It's in the ocean. Okay, oh yeah, we have a soul. Yeah, okay, thank you very much. Okay, now let's move on. Let's move on. Why are you here? Why are you here? I would like to see the reason why you are here. So there are 5 reasons that I listed down. So please vote. Okay, no worry, Michelle. I see, Min Lim. Hi, Min Lim, how are you? And then the 2, okay, and then Andy is to find out how to help people. Yeah, and yeah, I don't know why after a while the thing is gone. Anyway, so yeah, or maybe you want to type in the chat box, right? To learn to get rid of my own bad habits. Amy is the first one. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Jessica is how to help the people. Boon Hong, I think from Hong Kong, right? To find out how much is too much. And all right. Okay, let's continue. To identify and remove my bad habits by Rini. Leticia is 135. Leticia Pung, are you from Vietnam? I'm not sure. 135. Yong Yong 2 to 5. Wow. Alvin, to help others succeed in life. May 2 and 3. All right. Nobody say other reasons, huh? If you have other reasons, maybe you want to type in the chat box, all right? All right, let's move on. Yay. Oh, Leticia from Sabah. Yay, one more friend from Sabah. So two topics that we want to cover tonight basically is the evaluate if you have bad habits or addictions in your life, and also evaluate the types of physical or emotional addictions you have in your life. All right, so that will be the topics for tonight. Okay. Okay, let's move on. So bad habits. What is bad habits? Come, you can turn on your mic and talk to me. Yeah. What do you what is bad habit? What do you think is bad habit? Or you want to type? Audience is kind of quiet. Huh? What is bad habit? Come. Okay, people refuse. Okay, scold people. All right. Yes.
A bad habit is the result that you don't want, that you don't like.
Is the result that you don't want and you don't like. Okay. How do you know which one you don't like? Which one you don't like? Scold people, addiction, things that we do frequently and general negative impact. Oh, really is pretty comprehensive, huh? Causing harms to others, always think I'm right, something I enjoy doing but not beneficial, delay, yeah, overthinking, yeah, very good, yeah. So, yeah, there are many things, right? Bad habit. Silent ego, wow, I like this. So those are examples of bad habits, right? According to the Wheel of Life teaching, bad habit can be defined as something that causes unhappiness. Yeah. So the first one is something that causes unhappiness and gives bad results. So bad habit is something that causes unhappiness and gives bad results. So if what you are doing is giving these two impact, giving this impact, then this is actually the bad habit. Okay. Okay. Repetitive behavior that is badly affecting others. Yeah. Habit, right? Repetitive. Yeah. Thank you, Marian and Jessica. Oh, Marian, behavior that you know is unhealthy, but you're addicted in doing it again and again. Now, what is addiction? So we have already discussed about bad habit. What is addiction? What is addiction? Anybody? Tend to do again and again. Okay, Francisca, close. What else? What else? What is addiction? How do you define addiction? Can't live without. Okay. Can't live without. Okay. All right. You know it's no good, but can't pull yourself out. Yeah, Amy, very good. Something that we do frequently and we know it's not good, but we can't live it. Feel good every time I do it. Yes, that is part of it. Something that you can't stop doing even you know it's bad. Repetitive behavior, suffering without it, lost control. Yes, control is very important. Even you know that bad habits harm you and people around. Bad habits that are out of control. Yeah, those are very, very good, right? Habits we do repeatedly without realizing is must drink coffee. Yeah, must drink coffee. So addiction is defined with 4 components, right? An addiction consists of compulsive attempts to gain pleasure. So compulsive attempt to gain pleasure. So it must be pleasurable. It must be pleasurable, right? It must give us pleasure. Okay, you must give it, it must give you pleasure. That is number 1. And then we cannot stop even when we want to. Yeah. First, it gives us pleasure. Compulsive attempts means it's not just giving pleasure, but it is compulsive. Something that we want, yeah, and badly, yeah, and give pleasure. We cannot stop even when we want to. We don't have control. We lose control. We lose control, okay? And then Number 3, hurt ourselves. It must be impacting us personally. And finally, and also hurt those around us. Okay, so this is the definition. So these are the 4 components for something to be called addiction. A lot of time people ask me, how do I know that I have addiction? I don't think I have addiction. I don't think I am addicted to anything. So these are the 4 components. Now let's go through the types of addiction and let's analyze based on these 4. Okay. Types of addiction. We can divide it into 3 types: physical, mental, emotional, and also philosophical. Example of physicals. We are giving 7 types here. The biggest addiction in terms of physical is food. Food. We have food, we have stimulants, sugar, caffeine, we have internet or electronics, we have sex, pornography, we have alcohol, substances, cigarettes, and possessions. Out of these 7, anybody want to guess which 2 are the most serious? Out of these 7, anybody wants to guess which 2 are the most serious?
Cigarettes and
Food.
internet electronics.
Okay, who said food?
Me.
I don't know who is me.
Dewey.
Who is that?
Dewey.
Oh, Dewey. Oh, Dewey. Food is number 1, all right? I saw Elson saying smoking, Jessica internet, Andy alcohol, Bun Hong, Cecilia alcohol, Nico is sugar. Yes, Cecilia, pornography. Food and pornography are the biggest addiction of all time. The rest are not as bad as these 2. Okay, the rest are not as bad as these 2. Okay, so food and sex are the worst. Okay, now let's talk about food. Okay, I also love to eat food. I like to eat. I like delicious food. And what kind of level make it into addiction? First, compulsive attempt. Compulsive attempt. If you know me, we used to run workshop in JB. We used to run workshop in KL. Every time we go to JB, the first thing I would do is to find fried kway tiao, chao guo tiao. That is my compulsive attempt, okay? Because I don't know why I love the Malaysia kway tiao, you know? It tastes so nice. So I must go and find, no matter how late it is. If I don't go out myself, I ask for volunteers. Can anyone help me to buy kway tiao, you know? And then sometimes they only buy 1 packet. And because I am married, my wife is beside me. I have to share with her. And sometimes I just feel, the packet is already so small. I have to share with her some more. Not enough lah. You know, so that is compulsive, right? That is compulsive behavior. Okay. And it gives me pleasure because I love it so much. You know, the kway tiao Malaysia, especially JB one, is so nice. Yeah. And then how about other food, you know? Other food is the same. Oh yeah, sorry. So first, it is compulsive, giving me pleasure. Second, I have no control. So sometimes I have to share with my wife, but sometimes I don't even have control. Maybe when she is not looking, I just finish the whole thing. And then when she asks me, where's my part? I say, it's night, it's evening already. It's not good for your health. You know, you grow fat. Yeah, forgetting that I will grow fat also, you know. So no control. And how does it hurt myself? I hurt myself because I will become unhealthy. Fried stuff before sleep. And how do I hurt others? I hurt my wife, when she stopped me from eating. Enough already. You eat too much already. Or please don't buy. It's not good for your health. No, this is my tummy, So sometimes we may quarrel. So that is hurting ourselves. So that is for kway teow. You can use it for other food also. And it is very similar to stimulants. People who like sugar, people who like coffee, caffeine. Like my children, for example, they are still young. Nowadays, because of my age, when I buy drink, I always buy kosong. Kosong means without sugar. Kosong, or even the less sugar. But kosong is mostly my drink. Kopi kosong, teh kosong, yin yang kosong, Milo kosong means without sugar. And even Coke, I used to like Coke. Even now, Coke Zero. Coke Zero. And when my children, when I told them, hey, you need to learn how to reduce your sugar intake. Why don't you try my drink? The moment they put it into their mouth, they will spit it out again. This is not a drink. This is not a drink fit for human. They will always complain. Oh yeah, and then sometimes we buy the, what do you call that? The sweet drink, the tea with milk with bubble tea. Yes, bubble tea. And then nowadays bubble tea has this percentage, right? How much sugar you want? 0%, 25, 50, 75. And a lot of time when they ask me, I always tell them 0. And my children will say, Pa, if you want to drink 0%, I can just make one for you with our tea bag. You don't have to pay so much expensive price with 0 sugar, So this has become a struggle between me and my children. They will always have to order 75%. And to me, that is crazy. Yeah, so this is stimulants, sugar. Caffeine, the same thing. Yeah, caffeine, the same thing. Oh yeah, let me come back to sugar. So first, compulsive behavior. So every time after meal, we need to find bubble tea, for example. And then when we order bubble tea, it has to be 75% for the children. And obviously it is hurting them. And also it is hurting me when I see that they are not healthy. The same thing for caffeine. Caffeine is also the same, right? Some people need to drink coffee. I heard some people have to drink 6 cups of coffee a day. If not, then they can't function well. And caffeine has this effect. We call it the moment you drink, yes, you feel excited, but after a while there is this energy drop, tremendous energy drop. So that is basically the caffeine effect. Yeah, and you can think to yourself how it hurts ourselves and how it hurts the people around us. Internet and electronics are the same, right? Internet, electronics, handphone, mobile phone is so common nowadays. The first thing I reach out when I wake up from my sleep is my phone. Even a short trip to the washroom, to release myself, I have to bring my phone. Imagine that's a very, very bad example of electronics. Yeah, Netflix, Monica, that's precisely Netflix, right? People need to watch Netflix. And then lately I'm playing a Sudoku, After stopping for many, many years, lately I pick up Sudoku. I think I have a very good excuse. I need to brush up my logic because I'm helping to do proofreading on Mixed Nuts logical book, book on logic. But that is just an excuse, And sometimes when I play Sudoku, I'm so good at playing Sudoku, I can finish one game in 2 minutes or even 1 minute, So every minute I will start a new game. And sometimes it's just unstoppable. It's just unstoppable. So that is internet and electronics. Sex and pornography, it's even worse, right? they say, I don't know, I never done any research on that, but they say the biggest search term in internet, the term that people search the most is sex. I don't know, I didn't do any research, but this is what I heard, right? So it is so bad that it is the worst addiction. In fact, Geshe Michael mentioned the two worst addiction is food and sex. And these two are the main reason why we are going around and around and around in the wheel of life, or we call it wheel of suffering. Alcohol and substances refers to drugs. These two are obvious addiction. And a lot of time when we talk about addiction, people will think of these alcohol and substances. Cigarette is also the same thing. People will associate addiction with them. And finally, possessions. Possessions is considered addiction, okay? Ladies, for example, like branded bags. Or even non-branded, they like, LV, Prada, Mary, Gucci. Men like watches, men like electronics. All these are possessions. And possessions, imagine if you were to take away one of the LV, one of the LV means you have a lot of LV. Let's say if you only have one LV, if you take the LV away from your wife, what will she think? I think she will get mad at you. I bought it with such a high price. Now you just take it away from me, So possessions is a very bad in terms of addiction. Obviously, yes, compulsive attempt, and then pleasure. What kind of pleasure? Maybe to show the status, and then hurting ourselves. Hurting people around us. Maybe you don't have to eat because one LV bag can cost you 5-digit figure in Sing. In ringgit is even more. In rupiah, I think is even more expensive, right? So hurting yourself, hurting people around us. That is physical. Now, mental, emotional is hidden addiction that we don't normally identify well. Geshe Michael gave us 4 examples. Busyness. What is this busyness? Your addiction to be busy. Otherwise, you will feel something is missing. When I was working, I'm still working now. When I was working in a Japanese company, I was there for 9 years. And Japanese, I work in Japan, and we are all very workaholic. Workaholic means we love working. Oh yeah, maybe because I was young, when I was younger, I came to Singapore alone. My family were in Indonesia. And then to me, Monday to Friday was not enough. I even asked my boss, on Saturday, Sunday, can I come to office? My boss was very happy. Yeah, please come. We can't finish our work. So if you can come on weekends, we can speed up our work, our project. When I went to Japan, it's the same thing. I just like to work. Or rather, I should say, because I was single, I didn't have anything better to do at home. So the only place I could go was office. Ping Ping was laughing at me. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have girlfriend. I didn't have any other hobby. And all my friends were in Indonesia. I was alone in Singapore. I was alone in Japan. So the only place I could go was office. So do you know, when I took leave and came back, so when I was in Japan, I came back to Singapore for holiday. The Japanese say, hey, you have been working too long. You have not been taking your holiday. Please go back, Please go back. Okay. So I took 2 weeks leave. I came back to Singapore. My parents happened to be here. And then morning, we went to eat. We went to the food court, to the market. We went to eat. While I was eating, I saw people, Singaporean, going to office, They wear office formal wear, long sleeve. Some people with tie, carry their bag, taking MRT, taking bus. While I was eating, I was looking at them. You know what is in my mind? Hey, Sugeng, are you sure you don't have anything else to do? Are you sure you are really so free? Hey, look at all those people. They are doing something, but you are here, you are doing nothing. That kind of thought actually went through my mind. And I was actually telling myself, hey, this is something bad, it's bad. It's bad for my mental, because I was thinking that I was not doing anything, although that was my holiday. So this is busyness. Even now, when I look at my calendar, like this morning, we had a meeting, but after the meeting, my wife asked me, so any more thing for you today? I said, yeah, I have to teach tonight, but other than that, it's empty. When I told her it's empty, I was kind of worried. I look back at my calendar again. Are you really sure it's empty? So this is really this is something that we are unconsciously attached to. So that is busyness. Attention of others is very, very common. We want attention. We want to be on the limelight, so-called. Of course, some people who are more introverted, they don't like the limelight, but they appreciate being appreciated. Yeah. So, for example, tonight we have a lot of volunteers. So, of course, I need to appreciate them. Yeah. And I don't mean to say that volunteers come to volunteer because they want attention from others, but it's my job to appreciate them. Yeah, you see Amy started the session as an MC, and then the main IC, the project manager is Sandy, for example. And then we have a lot of people at the back helping us. Yeah, for example, like Ryan with the PowerPoint and the music, Inky with some of the technical stuff, and then Michael with the timing. And of course, we have Amy, we have Albina and Sophie, many others. So personally, yes, I consider myself as introverted, but there are times I feel that I need some attention from others. I don't know why, but this is very, very human, When I first came to Singapore, when I was working, and then I look at people serving the community. So I joined the grassroots leaders. At that moment, I was so eager to climb the leadership. I was so eager to become the committee chairman. But what is the motivation? I think the main motivation was actually attention of others. Yeah, power. Yeah, power. That is also power, right? But attention is one thing, but that is also power. As the chairman of the committee, you have power to decide. You have power to control. You have power to do things. So that is normal, right? That is normal. But again, after I became more established and busy, when I don't have much time, then they asked me to become chairman. I was telling my wife, life is so funny and strange, The moment you wanted power so much, you don't get any power. But the moment you don't want any power, they want to give you the power and attention. So this is basically considered addiction. Why? Because when I was climbing the ladder, it was really this compulsive behavior of me. Hey, I can do this, I can do that. Come, look at me, Look at me, give me power. And then it gives pleasure when people acknowledge, Sugeng from which committee? I was the secretary, I felt so good. Yeah, I was secretary. He was the vice chairman. Yeah, I was the vice chairman. But in my heart, come on, I want to be the chairman. So all this, so it's really some pleasure. And then why does it hurt me? It hurt me a lot when I was fighting over the leadership, there are many, people tend to do silly and funny things. Yeah. And then how does that hurt my family? Obviously, when I do silly things on others, they will do silly things on me. So that's bad. That's bad. And I mentioned attention of others. I mentioned power, and I mentioned and negativity. This negativity is something that we are also very unaware. We always think that, first of all, we think that we are not enough. Who am I? Who am I? I'm a boy from Indonesia. Of course, in Singapore, nobody will look at you. That was my mindset when I first came to Singapore, you know. You are from Indonesia. How can you compare with those Singaporean, you know? Malaysians are even much better than Indonesian, you know. You see, Malaysian can do well in Singapore, but how many Indonesians do well in Singapore? That was my mindset when I first came 30 over years ago. Negativity. And then I started working for an MNC. It was a Japanese company. And then I started to learn the management. And then there is this one management style, which is teaching you to consider the worst case scenario. So like Alvin, when you have a project, right? You need to think of the worst case scenario. So that become very negative. Anything that I want to do, I will always consider the worst case scenario. Anything that, contingency plan, you know, we say BCP, right? Business contingency plan. Yeah, BCP. We always have to consider this BCP. And because of that, I became very negative. I always tell my wife, let's do this worst case scenario analysis. What happens if I die tonight? Will you be able to, risk assessment? Yeah, that's a nicer term, right? Will you be able to survive with the children, for example? How much money do I have? How much insurance am I covered, you know? But I mean, I don't mean to say those are bad, but it is affecting me to become very, very negative. I become very, I look at things from the negative side first. Yeah, so all those are mental, emotional that most of the time we are not aware. And finally, philosophical. I don't want to talk too much about philosophical, but it's about how we look at things wrongly. It's about how we look at things wrongly, okay? It's about how we think that things are coming from its side. Now, for my information, how many of you are the first time here tonight? First time here meaning that the first time hearing about the system, the SID system. Okay, let me rephrase. How many of you have not attended any event by both DMO or DCI organizers before? Can you type 0 if you have not attended? Do we have anybody? Oh, Cecilia 0. All right. Oh, Boon Hong is 0. Bitin. Oh, okay. Wow. So this is your first time. All right. Eddie Hartono. Oh, wow. Eddie Hartono's name sounds familiar to me, but I just can't remember where. Okay. Wow. So at least we have 4 people, right? Any more? No more. All right. Yeah. And so I assume that, 5, yes, see Chandra. Okay, so I assume 5 of you, since this is your first time, you have not heard of the pen story. Is that right? Oh, let me rephrase. Oh, yes, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, so this pen story is the basis of our SID system, and it is a very important concept. And, oh, yes, she has heard before. Okay, and because of this not understanding the concept well, we fall into the last philosophical addiction, right? And how does it relate to philosophical addiction? I'm not going to talk about it tonight, otherwise we won't finish until midnight. So I would like to just move on, okay? I would like to move on. Now, before we move on, I have this activity for all of you. Originally, I wanted to do a group activity, but since we have a lot of people, let's do it in the big group, okay? So I want all of you to pick up a piece of paper or even your mobile phone and think of one physical and one mental likely addictions that you have and run through the 4 criteria of addictions. Okay, we mentioned already an addiction consists of compulsive attempts to gain pleasure for ourselves, which we cannot stop even when we want to, and which hurt ourselves and those around us. Yeah. So please pick one physical and one mental. And then after that, I want to hear you do the sharing. Okay. So we have listed 7 physical and 4 mental addictions. Maybe I go back to my previous page. Yeah. These are the 7, and these are the 7 at the top, and these are the 4 at the bottom. Okay. So let's work on those 2 now. Yeah, of course, it can be more if you have more. Yeah. So, but at least I want you to think of one from the physical group and one from the mental group. Oh yeah, you can also think of others not inside here. These are just examples. These 7 plus 4 are just examples. Yeah, like negativity also may include worry, right? There are people who are worry unnecessarily, worry all the time. I am reminded of this story of Chicken Little. The Chicken Little is worried of the sky falling. So that is Chicken Little. That is addiction too, right? So, okay, while waiting, anybody wants to share? Oh yeah, Alvin, please.
Okay. Electronics. As much as we all tend to think there's no addiction, the first thing that I tend to lean to before even I greet anyone in the morning, it's my phone. So that is an addiction in itself. And insecurities. It's the way I deal with things previously. I never realized it that I've always looked at it as like, oh, I'm very good at what I do, and by doing what I do is basically not helping people to succeed, but to shut people up. So by achieving what I do, I tend to say, hey, look, I'm very good at what I do. That's why you guys got there's no comeback in regards to it. So that is a very negative way of looking at trying to get people to succeed. So yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, insecurities, right? That is very much related to negativity. Yeah, thank you very much, Alvin. Anybody else? Oh, wow. Jessica.
Okay, thank you, Teacher Sugan. For me, physical will be smartphone. Yeah, I think I feel I can't live without. Even if I go out and if I don't bring my phone, I feel very, very insecure because everything is inside. Everything, even you don't bring your bag, also you can pay via your phone. So, if you're lost in your direction, you can depend on Waze, right? So I just feel that I can't live without. Sometimes I challenge myself. If I try not to look at my phone for half an hour or 1 hour, sometimes I break it. So I feel there's an addiction to smartphone. And the second one, mental, will be busyness.
Mhm.
I feel like you. I cannot sit still for not doing anything because I feel bad. I feel very like not contributing. If I'm too relaxed, right, I feel so guilty. So that's me. Yeah, busyness. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing. In fact, Michelle Coogan was asking, I didn't know busyness is an addiction. Yeah, just like today, I was actually playing with my Sudoku, and I feel so bad. I told my wife, hey, I feel so bad, because I'm playing with my Sudoku. She was kind of confused. Why do you have to feel bad? I'm supposed to do the proofreading, and yet here I'm playing with my Sudoku. But I think there are times we need to really know the limit, Busyness can be productive, but overly worried about busyness, about not being productive is also an addiction, and it is harming our mind subconsciously. Yeah. All right. Any more people who wants to share your experience, your perspective? No more. Come on. Anybody else? No? Oh yeah, Michelle, please.
Mine is more of a question, teacher
Oh,
Sugeng.
okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
I cannot stop. I think, I don't know, but it's actually for my business too. But I just cannot stop buying gemstones. Is that an addiction?
Well, I think, okay, you need to look at why you want to buy the gemstone, and is it because you need to, because those are the products that you are selling, those are your supplies, and then
Supposed to sell, but then somehow end up I keep it.
why do you sound like my wife? Well, okay. Basically, those are the 4 criteria, right? Compulsive attempt. So let's say if you want to buy and your husband stops you, hey, don't buy, don't buy. Do you have this unhappiness or not? Oh, okay. Then that is compulsive attempt, right? And then you want to buy because you feel good. There is a good feeling good factor. All right. And then, of course, does it hurt you and hurt other people? Hurt in the sense that you quarrel, or even the money which is supposed to be for something else, but you ended up spending them away just for the gemstones. If yes, then yeah, that is addiction. If yes, then that is addiction. So it's good that you recognize that, right? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Michelle. I think
Teacher Shuken,
yeah.
there's also a statement that addiction towards being smarter and better than other people.
Yeah, Calvin, I would like to invite Calvin. This is also one area that I'm also very guilty. I will feel unhappy if I know that somebody is smarter than me. and jealous, jealousy is there. Yeah, so thank you, Calvin, for bringing it up. Yeah. In fact, my father always complained about me. Why do you always have to be the smartest, Do you know that it's better to be the second rather than the first? I mean, human, or I don't know about ladies, but guys have this tendency, I have to be number one. Yeah. So, yeah, I used to be very competitive. I used to feel not satisfied when people are better than me. I have this need to surpass them. Yeah. And yeah, that is pretty addictive. And Boon Hong is asking, how do you improve if you do not have a benchmark? Okay, this is a good one. Yeah. Well, yes, benchmark is important for us to improve, and we need to strive to improve. But this may lead to, I think there are 2 things, right? It may lead to compulsive attempt, and secondly, it will lead into competitive behavior. Let's talk about compulsive attempt. Compulsive attempt will become something that is unhealthy. compulsive attempt will also lead you to hurt others. Compulsive attempt also make you unhappy. Yeah, and it also will cause the downward spiral. So that is the compulsive attempt. And of course, competitive behavior is also another problem with this, that I need to always be better than others. I need to improve myself. I need to become better. I need to conquer the market. I need to grab as big pie as possible. Yeah, so those are really two danger if we are not careful. But if we use those as benchmark, then yeah, we want to improve ourselves. It's okay. But I always tell people, benchmark we should use ourselves as a benchmark. We want to become better than our previous self. And we can only, if Alvin is better than me, I can only use Alvin as my model instead of as my competitor. I need to be better than Alvin. Then that is unhealthy already. I need to be better than my past self, but I aspire to be like Alvin. Yeah, that is what I would say. And yeah, Chin Ting.
Hi, Teacher Sugan. I have a question.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah. One of the thing is a procrastination, right?
Mhm.
Bad habits. Like doing things last minute, not prioritizing things, to do. So is it one of the addiction? Because I see that in a lot of my students, and I myself has that kind of habits also.
Yeah, procrastination is again, we need to go through the four criteria, right? So first of all, is there any compulsive attempt to procrastinate? Hey, please do your homework. No, I just don't feel like doing it now. Okay, so that is a bit of compulsive attempt, right? And then yeah, like paying bill, also the same thing. When I look at bills coming before the last minute, I just don't feel like doing it. Procrastinate. And then does it make you feel good? I think so. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. One more day pass before I do anything. And of course, hurting ourselves and hurting others. So yeah, procrastination can be considered as addiction. In fact, that was my project on my, I think on the third time I did this workshop. Yeah, the third time I did this workshop, procrastination was my topic for myself. Okay, for myself. So yeah, it's bad. And of course, like you mentioned, because we have the seeds, we see it in our student, and we just need to, we just need to change. We just need to change. As what is a seed for procrastination? Oh, I know already. No, sorry. The question is not what are the seeds. What is the seeds that procrastination will plant? Okay. What is this? What is the result of procrastination? What seeds are you planting when you procrastinate?
Delaying people time.
Yeah. So what is the result that we are getting?
Money.
Money, of course, but we see people are delaying us. Yeah. We see people are delaying us. I had this conversation with Professor Connie. I was saying that, hey, why did I see my wife sometimes very slow? She's sitting beside me. I just need to be careful not to get the attack. So I asked Professor Connie, I have this frustration. Sometimes I see my wife is kind of slow. What is the seeds? And she asked me, hey, Sugan, you may want to consider if you are procrastinating, And I say, wow, you are spot on, Professor. I like to procrastinate. especially when I need to pay the bills. I just feel so lazy when I have bills to pay. So yeah, that is the problem with procrastination. Yeah. And imagine, yeah, imagine when we see others procrastinate also, right? And yeah, Francisca also mentioned about the regularly check the likes that we get from social media posts. I think this is related to attention from others. And we get jealous, you know, wow, Francisca, Instagram, the posting in Instagram is getting more likes than me. Or Jessica Facebook posting is more popular than mine, you know. So I think that is also a pretty bad situation, right? Okay, any more sharing or actually, yeah, okay, this is considered Q&A already. Anybody has any other questions? Thank you, Boon Hong, for your questions. Anybody else from the rest? Okay, yes, Ping Ping.
Yeah, hi. Thank you, teachers. Again, I would like to ask a question. Sometimes I find a bit hard to reject people. Is there an addition as well? Yeah, what kind of seeds that I need to look into for this very hard to reject people? Then I will feel uncomfortable. Even actually I have a valid reason for that.
Yeah, I would think that this is negative, right? Like me, I used to be like you. I used to feel bad if I have to reject people. And before knowing the seed system, it was even worse, you know. I would create stories why I cannot accommodate your request. Yeah, so I would create story. Oh yeah, I happen to have a guest from overseas, so I don't have time for you, for example. I cannot meet up with you, for example, you know. So to me, how did I overcome this? How did I overcome this, right? I will look at my priority, right? I will really weigh the priority. And how do I weigh my priority? If you have attended level 1, when we learn the 4 steps, step number 2, we learn the fertile soil. So I will weigh my priority according to the fertility of the soil. So obviously, when we talk about this, then it is very clear what we need to prioritize first. Yeah, of course, people in emergency can also be fertile. So if you are asking for my help and if it is emergency, then I will readily help you. But if it's just a simple, I don't know, maybe a dinner gathering with some old friends who, I don't know, maybe not really in urgent needs to meet me, then of course I will reject, you know. Yeah. So yeah, that is how I overcome this lately. And it's easier for me to say no nowadays when I have my priority clear. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I would consider that as well. I mean, I used to be pretty weak in this area. Anybody ask me for anything, I will always say yes, and that is causing me not to be able to settle a lot of things. Okay. Any more questions? May, any more questions from your
Yes,
side?
Teacher Shukun, I have this question. Somebody asking, I need to check regularly at my WhatsApp, Telegrams, and social media because my business comes from these mediums. My friends told me that I have addiction. Back to you, Teacher Shukun.
Yeah, that's why the 4 criteria are very useful. The 4 criteria are very useful. So first of all, do you have this compulsive attempt to check? Yeah. If Well, sometimes we have this, what we call the response time. I used to work in a call center. I used to work in the services, you know, we have this response times target. So depending on your SLA, sorry, SLA means service level agreement, you know. So every customer that we serve, there is this contract of an SLA, service level agreement. If you pay expensive money for your service, then of course there is this SLA of when you call us, we need to respond within half an hour, for example. That is a very tight SLA and it's very expensive. And normally the banks, or I was in technical line, so normally only the banks or financial institutions who need to operate around the clock will subscribe to this SLA. So we need to respond within 30 minutes. We need to get an engineer within 2 hours. And then if it is, we need to deploy engineer on site within 2 hours if it requires any physical intervention. Otherwise, we will do remote troubleshooting, right? So that is our SLA. And of course, when we have such tight SLA, we even put a big monitor in our, we call it our room, our ops room. And then we have color. If let's say from you, May, let's say you are bank ABC and you subscribe to the highest SLA, and then when something happens, something is wrong with your system, it will be flash in red color and blinking on my monitor to make sure that half an hour, anybody will answer, will respond, and then look at it, you know. So this depends on our SLA, our agreement, our response time. If your business requires that, then checking very frequently is okay. But some other customers, some shops that are using some other businesses that are using our system and not critical, we call it not critical mission. The SLA can be, response time can be 4 hours, you know. So when they have any issue, as long as we respond within 4 hours, it's okay. So for those kind of customer, even if the system is really down, my system will not blink. The most is yellow color, maybe at the bottom. So only after we clear all the red alarms, we call them alarms. After we clear all the red alarms, then we start to look at the yellow alarms, you know. So again, it depends on the business. If your business requires a very tight response time, then yes, checking frequently you can justify that. But if your business does not require such tight response, then don't, you know. In fact, like Facebook, you know, some businesses, they only put, they say that, hey, we will respond to you within the next 24 hours. Then you don't have to be on the standby. Yeah. So we need to know the agreement with the customer, how fast we need to respond, and that will give you a very good gauge about whether you're addicted or not. Thank you. And I saw another question posted by Ann Chong. When parents try to get rid of addiction of the child, like playing games, the child defends saying that I don't think it is affecting my life. In fact, it is to distress. Yeah, this is like my Sudoku story, huh? You know, I have another story. When my eldest son was in secondary school, that was like 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago. He was playing this Minecraft. I think it's Minecraft. He was playing Minecraft very rigorously. Means play a lot, play a lot. And I was observing him. And to me, he was amazing. I don't know whether how many of you play Minecraft here, right? Minecraft is a really amazing game where you use logic gates, you know, electronics logic gates. You build your traps, you build your fortress, you build your defense system. Yeah. using the logic gates. And I was kind of admiring my son. He was in secondary school. He could understand all the logic gates and he could design his weapons and his defense system. To me, that was very, yeah, Karen, very smart. To play, it's not easy to play that kind of game, okay? You need to be very smart. So I was admiring him. Wow, in fact, I only learned those in my university, when I was in university before, you know? So I was thinking, wow, I only got to learn all this in university, but he learned it while playing game in the secondary school. So I was admiring him. But to my wife, that is addiction to the computer games. He is in front of the computer playing games all the time. So yeah, to me, it was not an addiction at all. To me, it was very educational. And to me, it was very eye-opening for me. Wow, nowadays children, they are so smart. They learn all this even before university, you know, even during secondary school. But to my wife, oh no, this is unhealthy. The eye, he will spoil his eyes no rest. He is sitting whole day. He is not standing up. He is not doing his exercise. So yeah, so I think we need to understand. Well, this question, if you know, if you have heard about the pen story, I would like you to consider it from the pen, from the human and the dog perspective, right? So I've just given you an example, and Amy has summarized that. You have two different seats, yeah. So depending on our seats, and how do we change that? How do we change that? How do we change? To me, I don't have any need to change, because to me, that's not addiction. To me, that's education, right? But when my wife saw it as addiction, then she can actually change her seats so that she doesn't see our son to be addicted. Yeah. All right. Okay, I'm reminded here to do photo taking. Let's take photo. Amy, are you going to do it, or May, or?
Yeah.
Yes, it will be Amy. Thank you,
All right.
Amy.
Can everyone turn on the video if possible? We'd like to see your beautiful face. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, second page. Because we have many attendants. Last one. Okay.
Okay,
Wow, a lot of
thank
love.
you. Thank you, Amy. Now let's continue. Okay, I have one more topic to discuss. Let's continue. So how do we recognize our addiction? So I have given you five ways. Right? The first one is, of course, to ask your family and friends. Hey, Ann Chong, do you think I have addiction? Then you let Ann tell you. Or hey, who else? Oh, hey, May, do you think I have any addiction? Then you let May tell you, you know. So ask your family and friends, because normally they are closest to us, and they are observing us. They live with us day in, day out. They know what kind of addictions we have. Second, learn to pause every time you are feeling a little unhappy. Yeah. So when you have a bit of unhappy feeling, try to pause and then trace your thoughts back. Yeah. So we have a meditation on this one. Trace the train of thought. Yeah, TTT, and it is very, very interesting and very useful. Yeah. And we are going to learn this in the level 6. We call it the intensive, right? So it is a very exciting meditation. The third one is analyze upset feelings. When you have upset feeling, when you are feeling upset, right? So upset is a bit different from little unhappy. This is the number 2 is just little unhappy. The third one is upset feeling. Upset feeling. I'm angry. I'm not happy. I'm angry with so and so, you know. So when you have this upset feeling, try to analyze any compulsive desire for something behind. Yeah. Let's say I'm unhappy with Ying Hui, for example. Just joking, but example, right? So let me analyze, why am I feeling upset with Ying Hui? Is it because she doesn't reply my message, meaning that I am craving for attention from others? Yeah, so we can analyze it. We can recognize from here. Yeah. Or number 4 is examine the relationship problem. Any relationship problems that you have now, you can actually examine it. You can actually use it to check, because a lot of time this is the cause of our addiction. And so a lot of you might have heard me saying relationship is a very important aspect in our life. It is, I used to say that relationship is affecting our wealth, for example, and of course our health. Yeah. But now we see that relationship is also affecting our addiction, our bad habits. Sometimes we have addictions because we have relationship problems. And if you can identify that, and if you can resolve that, most of the time the addiction will be gone. Yeah. You can think of people who pick up smoking, for example. Why did they pick up smoking? There might be some relationship issue when they were young, at home mostly, yeah, or even with friends. Or why do people pick up drinking? Yeah, could be due to relationship too. Yeah, so, or why do people get involved in busyness? Why do some people have to be very busy, keep on working all the time? Because they might have some relationship problems and they just want to immerse themselves in the work by being busy, so that they don't remember, so that they forget about their problem. But of course, here I'm not implying that when you have busyness addiction, you have relationship problem, but this could be one area that you may want to consider. And finally, the 5th one, see which direction your meditation falls towards. So when we are doing meditation, a lot of times our mind might just run away, and try to observe the direction of your mind when it is running away. Where does it go through? Where does it go to? It could be because you are thinking of food all the time, you know, especially in the morning when I do meditation. I will always think, okay, what should I eat for my breakfast? So if that is what you're thinking, then yeah, you could be addicted to food. Like I was telling my wife, yeah, I think we need to start fasting again, you know, do our fasting. But the mention of food, I forget about my fasting already. Like just this afternoon, she was asking me, what should we have for dinner? Oh, okay. Although I have thought that I wanted to fast tonight, but the question of what for dinner, I forgot already. Okay, so yeah. And yeah, these are the 5 ways to recognize our addiction, right? So Tambu was saying he has loud voice and yeah, may be intimidating. So what do I do, please? Then speak softer. Speak more softly, Tambu. Speak more softly. Yeah. We don't have to use our full lung capacity.
It's so good. Actually, I don't know if I'm right, but it all I think was not personality. I believe the whole family, my family, all speak quite loudly. So I've tried speaking softly, but if I speak softly, I don't seem to be able to, relate the message or even complete my whatever I want to say. So, but I've noticed that some people feel intimidated. In fact, yesterday I had a dialogue with someone making a point, and that person said, "Don't raise your voice." So yeah, so I said, "Look, I'm not raising my voice. This is how I speak." There were three other people, but only one person felt like that. Now, the other two, so I asked the other person, "Did I speak in an intimidating way?" He said, "No, you were just making a point." So
You see, I heard you saying, right, because you want to convey your message, and then you just feel that you won't convey your message properly if you don't use your normal volume, and those are two separate things. A lot of times people speak softly and yet they could convey their message. Yeah.
I guess so. I also noticed that, but so again, it all boils down to your seats. So even by speaking softly, you can convey messages or probably convince someone. But in my case, I probably think that I have to speak loudly to convey the message. So it's all my seats, I guess.
Yeah, it's all our personal. Like, for example, before we learned the seat system, it's very interesting. We had this group of few business people from different countries. And there's this one particular lady in KL. Every time she sent a message to the group, I will feel very angry. And I feel agitated. And my wife, on the other hand, feel, hey, that's normal. That's just her expressing her opinion. Why do you have to get so upset? But then I told her, hey, do you know that she's actually attacking you? And I'm trying to protect you. My wife say, no, did she even try to attack me? I don't think she's attacking me. You see, different perspective. To me, as a good husband, I want to protect my wife because I perceive her as attacking her. But my wife, who is supposed the victim, didn't feel anything. No, she's just telling us an information. And why do you have to be so worked out? In my mind, at the back of my mind, yeah, you so silly. People trying to attack you, you still don't know. So it's a matter of seats. So I think after learning the seat system, I then realized, oh, okay, it's my seats to see her being nasty. Yeah, 2 seats, like Alvin said. But my wife just didn't have the bad seats to perceive that as being attacking her. So, well, I mean, Tambu, if you heard people giving that kind of feedback, then let's speak more softly, Yeah. In fact, it is more, you feel more peaceful if you have to speak softly. Okay, last one from Lilis, right? Lilis just completed our foundation level workshop in Jakarta. She's from Medan. And she's saying that she has this, I think we call it OCD, right? Compulsive behavior of wanting to clean the house all the time. Yeah, cleaning the house all the time. Yeah, OCD, right? What is that? Obsessive compulsive disorder. Obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD. Yeah, there are people like that. And yeah, even if your house is so clean, you still want to clean them. For some people, OCD means the way they arrange things. It has to be exactly the same sequence, the same whatever thing, the same location, the same sequence, and nobody can change anything. So that is OCD. So how do you change? How do you change? To me, OCD is, I used to be very OCD. I used to be very perfectionist. Everything must be perfect. Everything must go through me. After I check and make sure that it is perfect, I will then let go. How do I change? How did I change? My seat forced me to change. Example, like this event, Sandy being the main OC, I let her handle everything. I didn't even check the details because I just don't have the bandwidth to check. I just cannot be checking on her. Hey, Sandy, can you send me the list of the people? Hey, Sandy. And then we wanted to do a breakout room. I didn't even check with her. Who are the people? Are they trained, Because I just don't have the bandwidth. I just came back I was in Indonesia last week. I was in Ho Chi Minh last weekend. I just came back yesterday. And then I straight away went into a meeting with China because we are having automatic leadership this weekend. So I just don't have the bandwidth. So that is how I get rid of my OCD. And Lilis, one day when your seeds ripen, when you really don't have the bandwidth to even do all those things, I think you will be cured. Like me, I think I'm cured now. I cannot afford to be OCD anymore. Okay, I told my wife I cannot be OCD. If I were to be OCD, I don't think I have I have a life now. All right. Okay. I think we are pretty late. Are we? Yeah, we are pretty late. So can I have some sharing, or can you type in the chat box? What is one learning that you have today? What is the one key takeaway from today's learning? Yeah, please type in the chat box. What is the one key takeaway from today's learning? Okay, thank you. Ping Ping. How about the rest? Oh, did I make all of you fall asleep? I'm sorry. We have different perspective depending on our seats. Busyness is also a form of addiction. Categories of addiction, kind of interesting. Okay, yeah. All right, please continue to type and understanding that we are able to change our future. Moderation, yeah. Okay, I would like to show this PowerPoint. So today's session is the first of the series. I think we planned for 3 sessions or 2, I forgot. I think please watch out for our announcement. And we have planned to do this Freedom from Addiction, which is planned to be on 17th of December. Okay, but September. But before that, I would like to invite Sandy to give some announcement before I play the video from Geshe Michael Roach. Geshe Michael, in fact, give us this video to play for tonight. Okay, over to you, Sandy.
Okay, thank you very much, Teacher Sukan. So I have a few announcements to make here. First of all, so this is level 6, DCIG level 6 that Teacher Sukan has been talking about. So this is the course in October. These are the dates and these are the prices. Right now it's still early bird price of 1560. And if you have attended before, then there'll be a revision price of 400, all right? Okay, you can take a picture of these. And then there will be a few more upcoming events. Can I have the slides for the few upcoming events? Yeah, so so level 6 we have that will be later on in October. But for these 2 months, we have this August 27th, we have a short course. This is really good for people who are very new in the system and or who have not heard anything about it. Then this is an introduction to the SID system with some very basic important life tools. You are able to apply it right away after the course. It's only for 4 hours. Yeah, and then we also have the Asia Summit, which is on the September 3rd. And I highly recommend that you please come to this event and do take a snapshot of this screenshot. Yeah, and because we are inviting organizers from different part of the world and different countries, some from China, some from Vietnam, they'll be sharing with us on this topic about addiction. Okay, and then on September 8th, we have another one about bad habits, but this time we're going to talk about business. So it's in a business context. And if you do have business, you are doing some sales, I think this would be really good for you. And how do these bad habits affect our business, okay, and our customers? Okay, so and then on the 17th September, which Teacher Sugan has shown the poster just now, and this will be a talk that by Geshe Michael Roach. So please come back, and we'll be showing all these on the slides. And also please join us for our this is the short course that we're going to have on August 27th. And please do take note of the next slides of the links that we have in Telegram and WhatsApp. And do take a snapshot and join our either Telegram or WhatsApp to get the latest update. And we will post all those information in these chat groups as well. Okay, so with that, we also have some links typed in the Zoom chat. Yep. So I'll pass back to Teacher Sugan.
Okay, let's watch the video from Geisha Michael.
Hi, this is Geshe Michael Roach, and I just wanted to invite you to our invitation event, okay? And I want to give you just a quick idea of what we're going to talk about in this invitation event to the DCI Level 6. You see in the first picture here, we're going to kind of, I think a very important thing and an improvement on DCI Level 6 is that we're not just going to talk about addictions, how to identify them, how to admit them to yourself, how to fight them successfully, okay, with a new method, a new amazing method from the ancient wisdom. But it's also a method that you can apply not just to addictions that you see here with the alcohol, but to bad habits, because a bad habit is really just an addiction that didn't grow up yet. Okay, so we all have lots of bad habits that we would like to get rid of. And in this invitation event, we're going to give you some clues about how to shut down those bad habits. You know, this guy has a bad habit of cluttered house, cluttered desk. It's not as serious as the alcohol addiction we see here. But if you can cut your bad habits, if you can learn to take your life back from little bad habits like cluttered house and things like that, if there's an easy, powerful method to overcome bad habits, you can take that method to your more serious addictions and fight them. In the next picture, this is, I call the bad habit vampire. And the thing about bad habits is they suck your energy, okay? Addictions and bad habits, they suck your mind time, they suck your energy. It's like you're bleeding and you don't even know you're bleeding, okay? And your energy is lower, you're less successful at work, your family life's not 100%. This is because of bad habits. This constant sucking your energy, sucking your blood, with our addictions, full-blown addictions, but also the bad habits that become addictions. All right, here in the next picture, in the invitation event, we're going to talk about how stopping a bad habit, when you stop a bad habit, or you get this new method of cutting a bad habit off at its roots, it will never grow into an addiction. And then suddenly you get your mind time back, okay? Your brain time comes back, your energy comes back, your self-esteem comes back because you beat your addiction. And then suddenly you're much, much more creative. And then your work goes crazy, you know, you start doing better in your work. And my experience of using these methods you're going to learn to stop addictions and bad habits is that you get financial success. I call it money starts to pile up, okay? And it's a funny thing, you know. Usually we're always trying to get money or we're trying to increase our income. But you're going to have the opposite experience. If you can cut your bad habits, if you can stop your addictions, then something weird happens. Money starts to pile up. And then you have this extra nice problem, how to give away the money, how to share the money, all the beautiful things you can do with more life energy and more income. Okay, final thing we're going to cover is this lady got over her addiction. And she's not teaching the DCI method to addiction. She's just clean and happy and energized. And she got her life back. And now people are saying, what happened? Why did you change? You know, compared to last year, you seem to have so much energy. You seem to be so on top of stuff. You just seem to be more happy all the time. What's your secret? What happened, you know? And then she becomes Not only did she beat her bad habits, not only did she beat her addiction, but she is so fresh and happy and creative and successful that other people are watching her and saying, "What did you do? How did you do that?" And then she's in this very pleasant place of being able to share something very precious that will help the lives of everyone she knows. That's our invitation event. It's free. I'd say if you don't come, you're crazy. We don't all have huge addictions. We do all have bad habits that kind of become big addictions. And we're going to teach you how to get rid of them, take your life back, improve your life, and inspire other people. See you there.
Wow, so much great sharing. And thank you, Geshe Michael Roach. Thank you, Teacher Shugen and Sandy for tonight's event. And thank you, everyone, the fellow guests, for joining us to the end. And remember, we do have a free invitation on the same event, Freedom from Addiction invitation event on the 17th of September, 8 till 10 p.m. Please do invite your friends and your family when you feel that this is such a beneficial event for you tonight. And thank you again, once again, for joining us tonight. And adios. Thank you. Good evening.